Sales, in its very basic definition, is exchange of value for value. I did not learn how to be a salesman, therefore I cannot do sales. No one learned how to be a salesman. We all had to teach ourselves how to be salesmen and women. So I did not realize it's a skill I have. I realized it's a skill I needed. Skill is not the only problem. Community is also a problem. Our marketers have communities, engineers have communities, and whole societies. HR people have communities, coaches have communities. But sales guys don't. If you cannot organize people, then you cannot train them. Even when you're not in control, you are in control. Find something you believe in. Enough to want to do the work. Do not start with the product. Start with the need. Focus is what pays rent. Focus is what pays salaries. Focus is what you should run your business on. Target should be higher than your.
Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits. Let's talk about sales. Let's talk about selling even in Africa, because I know with the cultural context that I see around, there's a lot of people that feel sales is manipulative, sales is difficult, sales is something they don't want to be associated with, and they don't recognize that throughout their life they are selling. And I want today to talk to someone who a few of my friends have been hinting and saying he is the number one sales trainer in Africa, Mr. Kelvin Kuria.
I like that one. Number one sales trainer in Africa. We should probably run with that.
Yeah, you can run. How are you?
Hi, my name is Kelvin. I'm the number one sales trainer in Africa.
That's a good way to introduce yourself.
It's a terrible way to introduce yourself.
What?
From a sales perspective, it's probably something we should tell people do not do.
Is it?
Yeah, don't lead with credentials. Of course, don't lead with credentials.
Why should someone listen to this episode till the end?
Because we will have a good time. I have not been sent a list of questions, so I know we are going to talk about sales, but I'm not exactly sure how the conversation will go. Which I'm sure we'll have a good time. If watching episodes is anything to go by, that's number one. Number two is because we will, in the process of this conversation, have a really, what I think is a really detailed conversation about what sales done well look like. And sales is a life skill. So you should watch this episode. Which camera are we looking at? That one.
Yeah.
You should watch this episode in full if you want to gain sales as a life skill. And it doesn't matter what you do for a living. You need to sell.
I like that you're saying it's a learnable, it's a teachable skill, because many people really know that it's something I'm not good at. And they don't even want to try to learn how to sell.
Yeah.
And they don't recognize that they've lost out on so many opportunities in life because of that lack of skill in selling.
Yeah.
But for you, where does learning how to sell well, where does it start for you? When did you recognize that this is a skill that I have?
So I did not realize it's a skill I have. I realized it's a skill I needed.
Nice.
Big difference. Because so when did I realize I needed the skill of sales? So I finished high school.
Yeah.
And in between high school and university, I don't know what to do in South Africa, but here we those days used to spend 2 years at home doing all sorts of things. So people do computer skills, people do driving skills, people do CPAs.
Okay.
So
Not
I did
straight to university.
Yeah. So we spent 2 years in between, and it's usually a very hectic 2 years, because you on one hand you finished high school, on the other hand you really are not, you finished school but you're still very uneducated, if you know what I mean. And so we finished high school, and my parents in their infinite wisdom took me to a college called Mwangaza College in Nakuru to do CPS accounting. And my dad, God bless him, lovely human being, gave me 200 shillings as pocket money. 200 shillings in rand is nothing.
Which is not I'm discovering.
200 shillings, the rand is on 7 shillings.
How much is it in dollars?
200 bob is like is $1.50.
Yeah, I think
let me tell you, it's a dollar. Give me a dollar, literally. Give me a dollar and told me, young man, thank you very much. We have paid your school fees. You will live in your auntie's house. Your auntie is going to feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So what do you need money for? Go to school, have a good time. And so me being a young man showed up in Mwangaza College. Mwangaza College is in Nakuru. It's in a place called Langalanga.
Okay.
And I used to walk to Mwangaza College and back, right?
How far?
It's like a 15-minute walk.
That's
that's nothing. Because I was a young man who is full of ambition and energy, as you can tell, the energy part especially.
The energy, yeah.
I needed to do something to get some money. And so a friend of mine called Ezra had a digital camera. I don't know if you remember those cameras.
Which period? Which era?
2008, 2009.
Oh yeah, the first digital.
Yeah,
cameras.
so the first actual digital
Yeah.
cameras with a screen, right?
Mm.
And you could focus and take a thing, and
Yeah.
and the other thing that could come out and then go back in.
Mm.
It was very cool, very. So
At the time.
at the time it was unbelievable. It cost 15,000 shillings to buy then, which is a lot of money. And because I didn't have the money, Ezra's mom had one. So I used to go to Ezra's house and get and talk to his mom and say, Bariako, I would like you to please lend me your camera so I can go and take photos with it at school events. So we had all sorts of events, sports day, culture day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for those events, I used to be the guy with the camera, and because I'm a very social person, I have lots of friends. Everybody in school knew me. I would show up with the camera and I would take photos.
And then you make money.
And they would I would go to the studio and I would have them printed out and I would sell them for 50 shillings a piece.
Mm.
My cost of production was zero because the camera was given to me for free, and it used to cost me 13 shillings per photo. So I would make 37 shillings. All I need to do was sell 10, 20 photos, and I am 500-600 shillings in. I'm good. Every event, if I got 30 photos in an event, which is easy to do, but then I realized that now for me to get people to take photos with me, I had to tell them a story. I had to tell them how nice they were looking. Because then because how do you take a photo? I tell you that t-shirt is looking very nice on you. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
Why don't I take a photo of you? And hopefully then, when I
When
give
you see
when you see yourself, right? And because it's a digital camera, I'll take a photo of you. But because the camera is mine, the photo would be left here, or I have to print it for you. So then I realized selling is important, because now I have to sell to people and tell them how nice they look and how nice that dress looks. And that's how quickly, that's when I realized.
Picking up on what works.
So I started picking up I was 2010, I'm 35 now. At 16 years ago, I was 19, right? I was 19-year-old, 20-year-old. So I was very young. Quickly realized that obviously there's something to be said about selling well. And I think that's my first lesson in sales, is that it's never about you, the person who's selling. It's always about the person you're selling to, right? So it's about how nice that t-shirt looks on you. It's about how nice I like that clean. You're very well shaved. Your baba is doing a really good job. Let me show you. And then so I know it's a long story, but that's really is how I started.
That's connecting with people became a key thing for you.
100%.
But how did it change to you working for companies like Unilever? Because you took this to corporate.
No, I did. So I was like, oh, I like this. I can take it all the way. So left Mwangaza College, did CPA 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So I'm a full accountant, by the way, full qualified with all the papers. And went to KU, Kenyatta University, and did a Bachelor of Commerce degree. And I did a marketing. You know how they do, BCom major, then multiple specializations. So I took marketing. I looked for the sales option. I didn't find it. I will tell you about that because we are doing something about it. Because it's sad that there isn't a sales course in this part of the world, that you cannot do a Bachelor of Sales. The closest you have is marketing. So I did marketing. And then immediately after fourth year, I was posted. No, I was not posted. I sound like a government person. I got a management trainee option or offer to go and interview to be a management trainee for Unilever. You know how they do? They have these very coveted slots where they interview 1,000 people and they take 10. So they interviewed 1,000 people. They took 10. I was one of the 10. So that's how my journey in Unilever started as a management trainee. There's a whole story in between where I started a company, but I don't think we have enough time. But I did start a company in campus. But you asked me about how I got to Unilever. That's how I got to Unilever.
It's cool. I think I want to get to the masterclass. I just needed people to have an idea
Yeah.
the background behind the man.
Yes.
How do you get to be called the number one sales trainer? I know you don't call yourself that, but how do my friends
how do your friends end up giving
calling
you my
that?
number and my
and
contact
say
as
you
a
need to
password?
find the number one sales trainer?
That's a good question, because for a couple of reasons. One is so let me give you the backstory, and it
Yeah.
will make sense in a minute. So worked for Unilever for 10 years, multiple jobs, Kenya, Rwanda, Australia, back to Kenya. Left 10 years later, moved to a company called Kenyan Originals. I was a commercial director there for a little under 2 years. And in all those things, I continuously realized that there was two things that I was struggling with in every role I did. Because there were big sales jobs. In Rwanda, I was a head of country, which means I was sent to go start it up. But it's a sales job, because you're going to start it up so you can sell. And one of the things I continuously realize is that here you have an opportunity to sell, but there isn't real salespeople in Africa. And by real salespeople is you can interview and to get sales guys, but you get random human beings, people who have done
Who
all
just
sorts
want
of
a job.
things. Yeah, who just want a job, right? But what I wanted was people who are qualified as salesmen, but those guys don't exist, right? Because we don't have any degree programs that teach sales in this part of the world. Many companies in Africa do not teach sales well. And Unilever is probably one of the few ones that actually do a good job in teaching, and I was working there, so I was looking for people. It was tough. So I started realizing that there's an actual skill gap. And by sales, I mean, let me give you an example. When you work in FMCG companies, what are you trying to do? You're trying to do territory management. You want a guy who's going to come and manage a territory called Kigali North.
Okay.
Kigali North has 600,000 people, 1,000 outlets, 2 distributors, 10 trucks.
Mm-hmm.
We just want him to come and take that infrastructure and make it work. Make sure that our product is getting to those 1,000 outlets correctly. And so really, you want somebody who has a process-driven mentality, is able to see patterns, is able to have the right relationships with his customers, is able to manage a team under him.
Mm-hmm.
That skill set does not exist, right? So that's number one.
Yeah.
And then I saw that over and over again. In every job I went into, it was the same exact problem, looking for sales guys. And it's not that sales guys don't have the right attitude. Their attitude exists. They're very good, very hungry, reeling to go guys, human beings, right? Professionals who have been doing sales for the last, and I say sales in quotes, for the last 10, 15 years, but they've been doing it in a very disjointed, unorganized, unstructured way. All they needed was somebody to tell them, hey, I like your attitude, I like your hunger, I like your energy, but let's structure it.
Okay.
And let's make sure that we work on it this way. And so after four jobs, after my Rwanda job, my Australia job, even in Australia, it's worse. Can you imagine? And then came back, did an East Africa job, and now I was looking after Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Ethiopia, Djibouti. Same exact problem across the region. Hungry people, ready to go, no skill. And then I went and moved, and I thought maybe Unilever is a problem. So I changed companies, and I went to a smaller business which sells alcohol. Same exact issue, right? Hungry people, really. And Africa is beautiful because we just don't have the right structure sometimes. We don't have the right process. So we have to build structure ourselves. And I saw quickly, the same problem. I was like, you know what, I'm tired of talking about this problem. Let me do something about it. So I left to go set up Africa's first commercial ecosystem, and we call it Commercial Club of Africa. So Commercial Club of Africa, as I envisioned at the time, is a platform. It's a platform that has 4 pillars. Now we have 5.
Yeah.
First pillar is community. So bring salespeople together, because skill is not the only problem. Community is also a problem, because salespeople don't have a community where they can go and talk to each other.
Oh, yeah.
And you know how marketers have communities, engineers have communities, the whole societies, HR people have communities, coaches have communities, but sales guys don't, right? Across the African continent, I cannot point, and I did a lot of research, even in South Africa, there's a direct selling association, which is, I don't know how well they're doing, but yeah.
You know stuff I don't know now.
And in South Africa, right? And so quickly realize that there's a community problem. There's a community, which is actually makes it even harder to do anything else well, because if you have a community problem, if you cannot organize people, then you cannot train them, because you need to organize them first so you can train them.
Train them, which means becomes pillar number one
So
to
so pillar
becoming
num-
a good
exact
salesperson?
so pillar number one is to organize communities, useful, practical, value-driven communities where people can come together. So that was the first pillar.
Okay.
The second pillar is salespeople really struggle to find good jobs. There is a lot of good sales jobs out here, but because there's a huge skill mismatch, there is a lot of employers complaining that we don't have enough salespeople, but there's a lot of salespeople complaining we don't have enough jobs, right? And therefore, I think there's something to be said in the middle here about recruitment. So we set up a recruitment agency which only recruits salespeople. Pillar number three is consulting. There's a lot of companies which again because there's not enough good quality salespeople, there's not enough good quality sales strategy, and therefore there's not enough good quality sales execution in companies. If you remember the territory management example I described for you in Kigali, that territory management example is repeated hundreds of times across African companies, where they have they have a product they really believe is the right product, they have the right solution for the market, they have the money and the marketing budget to get that product to market, but they don't have the systems and processes and structure to get that product to the market. And so there's so we have a consulting arm where we help companies to really do a good job and to think through their structure and strategy correctly and their process and tools and systems to get from solution to market.
So when you say we, it's the community of salespeople that you're training that you can deploy
The
there,
community
or
of
part
salespeople,
it is you?
exactly. So Commercial Club of Africa, as I say, platform.
Yeah.
The platform has a community. Today we are at about 1,300 members. We have a recruitment agency. We've probably placed about 100 people in jobs so far. We do have consultants. That's how we pay bills, because we are a boutique consultancy. We don't take every client. We take few clients, but we do really good work with them. Everything from doing your commercial strategy to training your salespeople. So we've done work around the region. So we've done work in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. We have a few clients in South Africa already. So
nice.
It's no surprise that we South African podcast is here. Which is why when a South African podcaster called, I was like, yeah, that's fine, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Something
I need to go back there.
There's something there. So that's the third pillar, which is consulting. The fourth pillar is technology. So technology in the context of there's a lot of sales technology, especially in the advent of artificial intelligence. There's a lot of good quality technology that people do not know about, because technology is an enabler of business. It's a commercial enabler. So if you think about AI, basic AI tools, Salesforce automation, CRMs, ERPs, all of that is sales tech, right? And it helps you to be able to get your market better, faster, easier, cheaper, etc. Okay. So we do run a technology division, and then
so you've got your own tools that you're building.
So we've gone on proprietary tools, especially on the route to market side, some exciting stuff. But we also work with guys like Zoho and your usual guys, so we resell for them.
Oh, and then you help install.
And then we'll help install. We'll show up in your business and you'll be like, listen, look at my CRM. Yeah, how do I use this? And we'll come and you don't have enough a CRM. And then you'll ask me, what should I use? I'll tell you, we have a division. So I call Vincent, who runs my technology division. I'll tell Vincent will sort you out. And then the fifth one is training, which is probably what we have now been known about, which is what I saw as well. Which is what you've seen. It's probably the easiest thing to make noise about. It's also the easiest thing it's the most tangible, because consulting is hard, because sometimes you're working on really confidential stuff. You're talking about really proprietary company, corporate strategy stuff. You cannot be shouting about that stuff on TikTok. Yeah. But training we are talking about universal sales training concept. Customer centricity is customer centricity. So we found that our easiest way to break into the market is to sell ourselves is through training, and that's how we ended up here. Powerful, man. Yeah, that's how we ended up
I think I can see why my friends were saying it. They speak quite well.
They do, right?
About you.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the myths about sales that are holding people back?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. I really thought you'd never ask. So there's three things, and I need to think carefully about this. So there's three myths. One is that sales is in the blood. Across the African continent, I've met people that say, I'm just not a salesman. I was just not born as a salesman. No one was born a salesman, ma'am. We all had to learn how to be salespeople. That's sales is not in the blood. That's a myth.
Yeah.
Number two, I have met people that say, I did not learn how to be a salesman, therefore I cannot do sales. No one learned how to be a salesman. We all had to teach ourselves how to be salesmen and women. That's a sales myth. That's a sales myth number 2. And sales myth number 3 is, if I can sell one thing, I can sell anything. Have you had people that say, me, I'm a good salesman.
Yeah.
I can sell anything. No,
I've been
sir.
winning selling this thing. It means
Yes, I've been selling water.
Yeah.
I can sell cars. Bro, it is a science. An engineer who has built roads cannot say now today, because I'm an engineer, can go and start building cars. There is a science to it, there's a technique to it, and therefore I keep telling people, be careful when you do this interoperability of salespeople. There is adjacent industries that will take the same salesman, and as a matter of fact, I'm starting to see a lot of that between FMCG and real estate, surprisingly.
Okay.
Because real estate is a very new industry in this part of the world. FMCG is a lot older. I'm starting to see a lot of salespeople do moving. I am a good example. I sell a lot of real estate today. Some of my biggest clients today are real estate clients. And I find that I haven't had to learn so much. It just actually...
I heard you sold cars, thousands of cars.
No, I did not sell thousands of cars.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me. I would love to take credit for it, but I have I did not sell thousands of cars.
So you've never done selling of cars?
No, I haven't. I think the concept, there is, the base skill set is the same. But there is nuance to it, and people have to be careful about applying the nuance.
Okay.
But to answer your question, 3 myths. 1, what was my first one?
Well, the first one, it's in my blood.
It's in my blood, it's not. Second one?
You mentioned the third one is one I remember that because I've been winning selling in one.
I'm just going to go and sell anywhere else.
All the other ones.
I think it's possible, but be careful with the nuance. And you need to learn the nuance. Do not just imagine that I can just, jump from one company to the other. That's the second piece. And then the third piece, my second piece was that I did not learn sales, and therefore I cannot sell.
I didn't learn, so I can't sell.
Yeah, those are my 3 myths.
What would you say is the mindset of a salesperson, a good one? How do they think different? Because there's a quote by Zig Ziglar, and he says, sales is the number 1 profession out there that makes a lot of millionaires and billionaires, but it's the number 1 profession that makes a lot of broke people as well. So
I love Zig. I love Zig Ziglar. With that big baritone voice of his.
Yeah. What is the big difference about?
The big difference is, go for it. So what is the big mindset that salespeople should carry? I have said this many times, and I actually would like to be quoted as a person who said this many times, that the mindset you should bring to sales, and let me take my time with this one, is that even when you're not in control, you are in control.
Okay. Let's unpick it.
Pregnant pause. I like me a good pregnant pause.
Yeah.
Even when you're not in control, sir, you are in control. That is a mindset that I want salespeople around the African continent to carry. Can we unpack it?
Yeah.
For the following reasons. One is, it is so tough doing business on this continent. There is 100,000 things that will be outside of your control at any given time. Let me give you an example. Shoot anything at me. Give me something you would be selling.
To sell
Books. So you work for Oxford, right?
Yeah.
You sell Oxford dictionaries, which is something a lot of people know about. Oxford is actually one of our clients, so this is going to be an easy example. You sell Oxford dictionaries to school, right?
Yeah.
There's something called a book list. I don't know if you know what a book list is. You know what a book list is? What's a book list?
A list of books.
It was right there. You say you're doing a PhD. Yeah, they need to take it back. Let me explain what a book list is. It's not a literal list of books. Do you have kids?
I do, yeah.
So do they go to a private academy school?
Yeah, they're young.
I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
They are young. So now, in this part of the world, I don't know about South Africa, in this part of the world, there are schools that are called book list schools. So your kid goes to school, and they're given a list of books to go buy. It's called a book list, right? And then there's a
list of books.
So you are right. It's a list of books given to you. It's a list of books given to you by the school, right?
Yeah, I got you.
That's a book list. Then there's a school list school. A school list school is the one that actually buys the books themselves and gives them to the students.
Yeah.
You want a school, not a bookly school, because a bookly school is a lot more difficult, because then you are at the mercy of the publisher, etc. A school will come to you, the publisher, and say, hey, these are the list. They will release a tender. You will apply for the tender. You will win the tender, and you will supply.
Okay.
There is 10,000 things that could go wrong with that process. A, you are not on the book list.
Okay.
You sell a book that's not on the book list.
So
B,
it's not recommended.
so it's not recommended. You still have a book to sell. B, you're not on the school list. You still have a book to sell. C, you sell books that are out of stock, because Africa does not do well with printing books for some reason. Apparently, a bulk of the books come from the Western countries, especially like Oxford Dictionary, etc. Strait of Hormuz happens, and now you have a disrupted supply chain. If you think about the number of things that could go wrong, or the government puts a tax on African governments.
Yeah.
One
stuff can change.
One person will wake up in the morning and put VAT on books or some shit like that, right? And so, if you think about it that way as a salesperson, you will die of stress. You will go crazy imagining the number of things that could go out of control. Which is why you need to bring the mindset of, ladies and gentlemen, even when I'm not in control, I am in control. Because when you think about it that way, then the list of possibilities start to broaden. Then you start to be very creative with finding difficult solutions to difficult problems.
How did you make the shift because for you it's not a problem to connect with people when you're selling and to approach people and introduce a product.
Yeah.
How did you make the switch to make it easy emotionally for you? Because a lot of people, they don't make that move because emotionally they're losing the battle. You feel like, I can't go manipulate my brother and make them buy this product. It feels like I'm pushy, I'm disruptive. He's busy with these things. I don't want to disturb what he's doing to tell them about my product. Let me be African.
Let me be African. So that's a really good question.
And be respectful.
And be respectful, and also be dignified.
Yeah.
And hold my space and be a proud African man who doesn't ask for help.
And doesn't disturb anyone.
And doesn't disturb a lot, and doesn't want to be too pushy or appear desperate. Yeah. To answer that question, we have to go 3 steps back.
Okay.
We have to go to step number 1, which is about asking yourself, whatever it is that you're selling, does it actually solve an actual need? Because sales, in its very basic definition, is exchange of value for value. It is exchange of, you have something, probably money, that is value. I have something, probably a book, that is value, that you want, or that you need. You probably don't know that you want it. So I have to motivate the want, the want or the need or the desire.
Yeah.
But I still have to do the job of motivating the need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I going with this? Point number one, before we get to your point of being African, etc., we need to be in the business of providing value for value. Real salesmanship and womanship is about providing value for value, not pushing product down people's throats. Because I think where it starts to get murky is when you have a product that people don't want, that you now have to start discounting and getting to a level that does make sense, just so you can get the product out.
And other people end up there.
So number 1 is be very clear that you have a product that people want. So, and how you do that is by understanding people's needs first. Do not start with the product. Start with the need. Then solve for that need with a product or a service. Make sense?
Yeah. So emotionally, it's easier to process because you know someone needs this and it's going to help them in a way.
So emotionally, it's easier to process because you are convinced deep down that you're providing a solution.
Yeah.
So you don't feel pushy. And the way you approach somebody when you know it's a solution you're providing deep down, you're not bullshitting yourself.
Yeah.
Deep down, you know that this is a solution I'm providing. The flavor of the texture of the conversation is different.
Okay.
Make sense?
1.
That's number 1. Number 2 is value articulation. So you might have the best product which is meant to solve a really big problem, but you articulate it badly. So learning how to articulate value is probably Africa's biggest problem with salespeople. Because people have brilliant solutions. But I see it everywhere. Every day I meet people and I tell them, pitch me your solution. 2 minutes in, I'm like, Jesus Christ, stop.
So that's the gap you were seeing when you're moving around the
That's the
countries
gap I was
looking
seeing.
for sales
Exactly.
people, that people can't articulate value.
People cannot articulate value correctly. And articulate value, value articulation has something to do with eloquence and being able to speak well. But that's maybe 10% of it.
Okay.
Value articulation comes from belief. Belief in the fact that what I am providing you is real and it's true. That's value articulation. I'm sure you've met people who can barely speak English. Like their English is broken.
Yeah.
But they are so convincing.
Mm.
Right? We all know people like that who speak in broken English or broken language, but they still articulate it very well. Stephen Hawking was a good example of a man who actually had to type for.
But he could hold the attention.
He did TED Talks and he was acclaimed the world over because the man had belief. Are we clear on value articulation?
Yeah.
But there's a few points about value articulation. One is belief. So believe so much in the product. So when I talk to people about sales capability development, I promise you, I believe it deep down that sales is trainable, that Africans need the service, and that we are the right people to do it. 100%. Wake me up at 1 a.m., I believe that stuff.
Because you understand sales is value exchange, sales is value articulation.
And it's
These
value
two
articulation.
things can be
Exactly. And those two things can be taught. So belief is number one. And this is point number 2A.
Yeah.
Is value articulation. Within value articulation there is belief. And then the second point is value articulation is not having a list of 10 benefits that my service does, or 10 features that my service does, or 10 features that my product does. Value articulation is speaking the language of the customer, speaking the language of the consumer, and it's speaking to them in the. So my phone has a 10 megapixel camera.
Yeah.
That's a feature that no one cares about. My phone that I am going to give you will help you capture memories.
That's value.
That's a benefit that you care for. But value articulation C is about landing emotional connection. So it's okay to talk features and memories, to talk capturing memories. But you know how we should sell a camera? We should sell a camera. We should paint a picture. Imagine a world where your life is captured every moment. Imagine a world where you could relive all your great moments, all your great memories, your children's birthdays, your dinners, your dates, your best scenes, your best places on earth. Imagine you could relive all of that every single time, however you want, whenever you want it. This camera helps you capture memories, and it is 10 megapixel.
It will capture them in the best quality possible for this budget.
100%. So features, benefits, emotion. Value articulation. We are clear. Correct?
Belief,
features, benefits, emotions. It's a small masterclass.
It's a proper solid one. People will have to sit and take notes. Otherwise, you're going to forget. This is important.
So remind me what we were answering. What are we answering?
The mindset of how the best salespeople work and move.
And we spoke about that. We spoke about even if it's not in your control, it's in your control.
Yeah.
And then we spoke about this African thing about
how you make the switch
and I told you
that's where we are.
And I told you 3 things.
Yeah.
One of them was make sure you have the product that people need, that people want, that actually solves a real problem. Once you have that articulate value correctly, then we went down this rabbit hole, which we just came out of. And then the third point is have so many of these people, which is what we call a pipeline. Have so many of these people that need this problem, that need this solution, so you then do not have to rely on one person or two people or three people every time, which is how you end up. You don't become a bother because you have 100 people you're talking to. You have a 10. You have, it doesn't matter. Whatever. It depends on the scale of your business, but you have a good and a big, juicy enough pipeline that you have enough people you're talking to that could buy your service at any given time. So you never feel beholden to that one.
So you're saying a lot of the anxiety and desperation around sales is because you're talking to 10 people a month.
You're talking to 10 people a month, and if they all don't buy, you have no lunch. You don't eat. And therefore those 10 are your gods, right? So you put them on this pedestal where if they don't buy, but you're screwed, right?
Mm.
And that's the problem with if you think about the problem we have in sales in this country, that is the root of it. Salespeople just have not been able to develop a rich, long enough pipeline to actually be free of desperation.
At what stage does it get to for me to call it a pipeline? I need to build until I have what number? How am I working with it in my head to say, have I done enough to build a pipeline?
Oh, that's another small masterclass. I
Is
like to break things in three, but I promise you.
we don't have to do a high level answer. I know there's a deeper. I'm gonna connect your school so
Yeah.
people look for the school.
Fantastic. Okay, clear. High level answer.
Yeah.
Is there's something called a pipeline, a focus, and a target.
Yeah.
Because you asked
How
big, how do you know that your pipeline is sufficient?
Yeah.
And therefore, so pipeline, and it's a lot murkier in between, but let's talk pipeline, focused, and targets, right? A target is, no, so let's start with focused.
Yeah.
Focus is the most realistic, achievable output of your business. Focus is what pays rent. Focus is what pays salaries. Focus is what you should run your business on.
Okay.
Right? So you should have a focus meeting and a focus conversation with your sales team, and you tell them, without any bullshit, give me a focused. Focused is, I have a purchase order, it is coming tomorrow, we know we will get paid. Clear, it's clean.
Mm-hmm.
That's a focused.
Yeah.
A target is a function of your pipeline. I'll explain. Your target should be higher than your focused. Your target should say that I have a focused of. So focus is easy. Every business should have a focused. But where it gets interesting is this relationship between pipeline and target. So let me explain. So you have to have a pipeline which is at least 5x your target.
Okay.
But but I am finding it difficult to answer that question definitively because it's very dependent on industry and your customer buying cycle.
Which makes sense. So I guess someone can look at the numbers and see
you
what
can look at the
makes sense
numbers.
for them. That's a good baseline.
That's typical, right?
Yeah.
Why 5x makes sense is because if you have a target of, as a matter of fact, it's not 5, it's 10. Now that I think of it, it's 10x. Okay. I'll explain. If you have a target of 10, you need 100 for 10% to convert.
Got you.
You get.
Mm-hmm.
So
you need to talk to 100.
You need to talk to 100, and 100 could be 100 customers, 100 million out of business, 100.
Yeah.
You decide what 100x is, right? But yeah, so it's 10x 10. So your target has to be 10. If your target is 1, your pipeline has to be 10. So your pipeline has to be 10 times bigger than your target.
That's a good baseline. Then you can look at your industry to see.
Yeah, then you can look at your industry and what makes sense. Real estate needs to be a lot higher because you have a longer purchase cycle. It's a higher put down value that you're asking for clients to put down. FMCG is a lot easier because you're asking for a lot. The amount of money you're asking in absolute is a lot less. I think stuff like automobile is probably similar to real estate because cars will cost 5, 6, 7 million Kenya shillings.
Got you.
Yeah. So your pipeline, answer your question, should be at least 10 times bigger than your target.
When you do an interview, if we call you to interview salespeople, what do you see for you to get that sense that this one will do it?
Good question. So I do two things. I do an in-boardroom interview and then I do an in-market interview.
Okay.
Especially if the role is senior enough, if the role is like a commercial director, head of sales, don't just interview in a boardroom. Anybody, and people in Africa have become very good at gaming interviews. I mean, it's not rocket science to stand and tell you over time when I portray decision making, where do I see myself in the next 5 years?
No doubt.
I can, especially if you're interviewing me for a sales job, surely I will have a sales answer.
Yeah.
But I do think in the room, the thing that really makes a difference is two things for me. One is belief, and you cannot fake belief. Belief is conviction. Belief is purpose and passion. And it shows up in how people speak. It's just little things. It's how interested they are in explaining a point. It is a level of detail they take in going into detail, right? So belief is important, and belief is not articulation. Belief is not eloquence. Belief is just, you can tell when someone believes in their craft, right?
Okay.
And belief is a lot of things. Belief has purpose, has passion, but let's call all of that stuff belief, right? That's number one. Number two is depth. Depth is, and Elon Musk is very good at this. He says, if someone cannot explain to you how they solved a problem down to the very basic part of that problem, then they do not understand the solution well enough and they're bullshitting you. And it could be as simple as, tell me, how do you put together a route to market strategy? And they'll give you a very top line, sexy, English-based solution.
What
Good.
you want is depth.
Then you ask them, let's unpack that a bit. Tell me, route to market, what are the elements of a route to market strategy? They will tell you distribution, pricing, logistics. Okay, let's pick one. Logistics. Okay. Tell me about logistics. Tell me, for you to put together a route to market strategy together, how do you set up your logistics? They'll tell you about vans and motorcycles and route plans and loads and how I get to the market, etc. Okay, so let's talk route plans. You get the point? If you cannot go 8-9 levels deep, my friend, you do not know the solution. We need to follow that one line to its most logical end.
Is that how your interviews go?
That's how my interviews go, yeah.
Jeez, man.
That's actually how my interviews go, right? I mean, pick a topic. Tell me about marketing. That's fine. Let's talk about customer segmentation, communication, audiences, advertising. We will go as far as and I will tell you how good you are and at what level of organization you will play at based on how you take that answer. Because your level of depth will tell me the level of organization. So at the highest level of the organization, you need to be very deep.
I want to switch it and ask, so does that mean if I take your course at your school, you train me to think with this level of depth in mind?
The simple answer is yes. Yes. The explanation to that, though, is that you have to be willing to do the work. Because our school is a practical school. So you will come to school, we'll take a topic like ICP, ideal customer profiling.
Yeah.
But we'll tell you to link it back to your own work. We'll tell you to go back to your office or wherever it is that you work and bring a customer profile. Then we will work with you to clean it up and ask ourselves, for you to have an ideal customer profile, what does it look like? Now that requires work on your part, right? So you have to be willing to do the work, but the simple answer is yes. That's
Beautiful.
why I do what I do. The reason I have a job today is to help salespeople get to that level of detail.
That's beautiful, man. All right, so if I look at someone who's going to say, I have a low self-concept, low self-esteem, I struggle with confidence, is there hope for me?
100%, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Ask that question again.
I don't have confidence. I struggle
I feel
with
like
self-esteem.
hugging you. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. yes.
I am struggling.
Yes.
I can't even articulate myself. It's like a guy who stands in front of a girl and forgets his name.
Yeah, and cannot remember
And I'm
what the
that
girl's
person,
name. Yeah.
and I'm thinking, okay, I love the concept of sales. I see how it can unlock breakthroughs for me in my life, but I am this person.
That's deep, and that's a whole masterclass in sales psychology and sales identity. We don't have the time.
Yeah.
But the simple answer to your question is yes, for this reason. For the reason that, you remember when I told you about belief, right? I keep telling people that I haven't met a serious multi-billionaire or multi-millionaire or serious anybody who doesn't believe in what they do.
That's an easy clue.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So some of the self-esteem issues that a lot of our African young people have is that they have been forced, or because of just jobs don't exist in this part of the world. So sometimes you find yourself in a place where you're selling shit you don't really believe
Yeah.
in. You are having to peddle lies literally because and they don't sit well with you because that's not who you are. And so I do believe, and I really hope that people across the continent can find things that they believe in strong enough to want to do something about. Because if you do that fast, then your self-esteem, 50% of your self-esteem problems go away. Because now you're speaking with conviction. You may not know it well. You may not be able to articulate it correctly, but you're speaking with conviction. Now, try do that when you're having to sell a product who you do not fully understand, which you do not fully believe in. Of course, you'll have self-esteem issues. So that number one is belief. Number two is practice. Because even I, who is a self-proclaimed godfather of sales in the continent, I promise you, I should show you a photo. I actually sent you a photo.
Yeah.
And when you do this thing, you can do
put it up.
You can put it up. I should show a photo of me, first year university student. I was as random. I was a village boy, full on. I grew up in a village in a place.
Doesn't look like it now.
Now I'm polished. Now I can afford a suit. but on a serious note, right? I am a good example. But and I'm not where I am, where I need to get to yet. I'm still practicing. But I think the second piece is practice, right? So find something you believe in, enough to want to do the work, because it's hard work. So I hope you are doing something that you really are believing in.
Yeah.
And second point is, once you find it,
Work
how
on
you
it.
gain confidence is by just practicing in front of your girlfriend, in front of your mom, your dad, your friends, your dog, your mirror. Keep practicing.
Practice. It does get better.
I promise you it gets better. Even because I do a lot of public speaking. On Saturday last week, I've never done a TED Talk before. One day I hope to do a TED Talk.
Yeah.
And I was launching a class with the Kenya School of Sales. We're launching a new cohort. And I told them, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to give you your welcoming speech. I promise I will make but please allow me to make this TED Talk style. And they were nice and gracious human beings. They allowed me to make a TED Talk. So I did my first TED Talk, practicing in front of a real audience. So I'm still practicing. So people should practice.
You're pretty smart. You've got this.
But practice really does make perfect. To be honest, it does.
As we cap off, I want you to speak to, if you may, sales as an option to people who are late in their careers. Some have lost their jobs, some are retrenched, but they don't know what to do. Where does sales come in this equation to help them fix their life and just repair their lives?
It's a very good question. So let me give you the backstory to my answer. The backstory to my answer is, I told you I run a consulting firm.
Yeah.
I meet a lot of people that say they are consultants.
Many.
And consultancy is what people do when they lose their jobs. It really is what people get into, and it is what
you don't have anything else.
Yeah, no, like, so even today, I sometimes I struggle to tell people I'm a consultant because it just looks like I lost my job. To all consultants out there, I'm sorry, but anyway,
they will come for you.
I'm one of you. Please notice that. But anyway, what's the point? What's the point I'm making? The point I'm making is, consulting, for example, as a career, is a very good, lucrative career. I know for sure. I'm one of them, right? But let me tell you why it's lucrative, or how it becomes lucrative. It becomes lucrative when you take, you ask, the question you ask is, I'm coming into this game a bit later in life.
Yeah.
Which means I have some form of experience in whatever it is. I used to work for company Y, and then I lost my job, or I was fired. It doesn't matter. But I think the first point of view is take everything you know. Because at 40 years, you know something.
Yeah.
Unless you've been living under a rock. But you know something, right? Take whatever you know, right? And where sales helps you, is, remember the 3 things I spoke about? Find a problem that is deep enough, articulate it correctly, and find enough of these people that you have a pipeline to build. Do that. with whatever you know, with whatever knowledge and understanding you have, there must be a problem you can solve that has economic value. Find that. Step 1.
Mm-hmm.
Step 2 is do the value articulation thing we spoke about.
Practice and believe.
Practice, belief, and talk about them, not you. And then 3 is find enough people that have that problem and start practicing.
That is powerful, man.
I think so.
Who should find you? How do they find you?
Mm-hmm.
I know they know now what to expect.
Yeah.
You take the sales conversation to a level of depth
You
I'm not used to.
You haven't got it.
This has been quite refreshing.
It has been. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you so much. So my name is Kelvin Kuria across all my platforms.
Yeah.
I do have quite the TikTok activity.
Yeah.
I stumbled on TikTok and now I am a TikToker. Who knew? It's been a year now on TikTok and I really, really enjoy it. So I do a lot of these, concepts and talks and training. So follow me on TikTok. I'm Kelvin Kuria.
Yeah.
We also do run a school called Kenya School of Sales. We have a website, kss.org.ke, and you can find us on Kenya School of Sales, the website. We are also Kenya School of Sales across all our platforms, right?
Can someone outside of Kenya take the course?
Yes.
You've got online options.
100%. I thought you'd never ask. Right?
Are you selling now?
See, you're selling. I like it. I got you in a place where you're now part of my sales team. So today we have students in Uganda, we have students in Zambia, we have students in Rwanda.
Yeah.
So we do have a very seamless online learning process. We do have a digital campus, which the team has been working very hard on. So yes, you can take a digital learning course as well.
Beautiful, man. As we close,
Yeah.
what words of inspiration do you have for the people?
Words of inspiration.
Anyone in Africa who should get off the chair and finally start taking sales seriously?
That's a good question. That's the camera, right?
Yeah.
So I think, okay, and I was about to say 3 things, but I think let's
work in frameworks, so we used to it by now. So let's go 3 things.
No, let's make it 1 thing, just so it's
Yeah.
memorable. So it's not too many things. It's 1 thing, which is, please, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you've been and how much trouble you've been in and how many mistakes you've made and how many times you've been fired and how many times you've been put on PIP or how successful you are. What matters is that you have a passion to be a better human being. Sales is probably the most important skill that anybody anywhere on this continent needs, because AI will not replace you. People still need to listen and talk to other people. And when AI explodes, and it will, there will be a premium on human interaction, correct?
Yeah.
So the more human you are, the better. At the heart of what sales is, it's humanity at its best. And therefore, please remember that sales is learnable, sales is trainable. You don't have to have it in the blood, it's a lie. And anybody can be a salesperson on condition that you want to learn it. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
Oh, I enjoyed that. That was amazing. Cool.
Yeah, see you in the next episode. Let us know what you think. And do pop in the questions. I'll link the School of Sales in the description of this video. But otherwise, this is a blessing, man. Thank you.
Fantastic.